Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the name of God, who is most merciful and gracious. Hope you all will be fine. In this video, I will discuss anatomical terminology. First, we know that anatomical terminology. Medical people use common language in terms of specific words. Medical people throughout world use common language in terms of specific words. Advantage of anatomical terminology. Medical people communicate each other without unneeded words. Medical people communicate with each other without unneeded words. Anatomical terminology is the fundamental of biological science. In anatomical terminology, I discuss 5 positions in human body. Anatomical position is an imaginary position in which body is considered always in straight position. First, I discuss anatomical position. Head and foot are parallel position. In anatomical position, heads and foot are parallel. Palms interior and forward direction. Upper or lower limbs are parallel. Face and eyes are in forward direction. Toes towards the direction, thumbs outwards in direction. Now we again discuss. In anatomical position is the imaginary position in which body is always considered in standing position. Head and foot are in parallel. Palms interior and forward. Upper or lower limbs are parallel. Face and eyes are in forward direction. Toes towards the direction. Thumbs outwards in direction. Second position, supine position. When the body is lying on bed, his face in the downward when the body is lying on bed, his face in the upward direction. When the body is lying on bed, when his face on the upward direction, hands are close to the body. Supine position. When the body is lying on bed, his face in the upward direction, hands are close to the body. Third position, prone position. In prone position, when the body is lying on bed, his face in the downward direction. In prone position, body is lying on bed, his face in the downward direction. Fourth position, lithotomy. Basically, lithotomically position is used during the delivery time. In this position, knee flex, thigh apart. In lithotomy position, knee flex, thigh apart. Fifth position is fundamental position. Fundamental position is not important. In this position, palms towards the direction, palms towards the direction. I again discuss the position. In human body, 5 position, anatomical position, head and foot are parallel, palms interior and forward, upper or lower limbs are parallel, face and eye are in forward direction, toes towards in the direction, thumbs outward in the direction. Second position, supine position. When the body is lying on bed, his face in the upward direction, hands are close to body. Third position, prone position. His face in the downward direction. Fourth position is lithotomy position, knee flex, thigh apart. Fifth position, fundamental position, palms towards the direction. Second, we discuss planes. In human body, I discuss 5 planes. फर्स्ट मीडियन प्लेन्स को हम मिड सैजिटल प्लेन भी कहते हैं. मीडियन प्लेन को हम मिड सैजिटल प्लेन भी कहते हैं. इन दिस बॉडी इज डिवाइड एट द सेंटर पोजीशन इनटू द राइट एंड लेफ्ट साइड. In median plane, body is divided at the center, at the right and left side, but in equal parts. In median planes, mid sagittal plane, body is divided at the center position, right and left side, but in equal parts. Second plane is sagittal plane. Sagittal plane also called para-median planes. Para means sides. Side. In this plane, body is divided at the side, right and left side, but in unequal parts. In sagittal planes or para-median sides or in para-median. Para means side. In sagittal plane, body is divided into right and left side, but in unequal sides. Third plane is colonal plane. The word colonal is derived from the crown. Colonal plane also called frontal plane. Colonal plane also called frontal plane, in which body is divided into the interior and posterior. Position, but in an unequal parts. Colonal planes also called frontal planes. In colonal plane, body is divided into the interior and posterior position, but in unequal parts. Fourth plane is transverse plane. Transverse plane also called horizontal plane, in which body is divided into the upper and lower parts. Transverse plane also called horizontal plane, in which body is divided into upper and lower parts. Fifth plane is oblique. Oblique plane is different. All other four yani median plane, sagittal plane, कोलोनल प्लेन ट्रांसवर्स प्लेन से डिफरेंट होता है. ओब्लिक प्लेन में बी डाइनियल, oblique plane may be diurnal or choroidal. Oblique plane may be diurnal or choroidal. Now I again discuss planes in a human body. First plane, median plane. Median plane also called mid-sagittal plane. Median plane in which body is divided at the center. In which body is divided at the center. Central position into the right and left side, but in equal parts. Sagittal plane also called paramedian planes. Para means sides, in which body is divided at the sides, right and left side, but unequal parts. Colonal planes also called frontal planes. Frontal planes divide the body into the interior and posterior but unequal parts. Fourth plane is transverse plane. Transverse plane also called horizontal planes. In transverse plane, body is divided into upper and lower parts. Fifth plane is oblique. Oblique plane is different. Median planes, sagittal plane, coronal planes, transverse plane. Oblique plane may be diurnal or choroidal. Let's see two most important MCQs. Median and coronal planes are perpendicular to each other. Median and coronal planes are perpendicular to each other. Also, coronal planes and transverse planes are also perpendicular to each other. Median and coronal planes are perpendicular to each other. Also, coronal and transverse plane also perpendicular. I discuss terms in anatomical terminology. First term, superior. Superior mean above. Superior mean above. Towards head. Towards head. Superior means above यानी ऊंचा. Towards the head. Inferior यानी नीचे. Below. Inferior mean below. Inferior mean below. Towards foot. Towards foot. Towards foot. Superior means above. Towards head. Inferior means below. Towards foot. आगे देखें एग्जाम्पल से हम इसकी वजाहत करते हैं. हार्ट इज एट द सुपीरियर पोजीशन एंड स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन. हार्ट इज सुपीरियर एंड स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन at the inferior position. At the inferior position. Heart is at superior. Small intestine is at the inferior position. Pimples. Pimples is 2 centimeters. Pimple is 2 centimeters superior to navel. Pimple is 2 centimeters superior to navel. Interior. Front side called interior. Front side called interior. Posterior को हम dorsal भी कहते हैं. Posterior also called dorsal. Sternum is at interior and heart is at posterior position. Sternum is interior and heart is posterior position. Median close to median. median, close to median, hurt at the median point, hurt at the median plane, hurt at the median plane. Median means close to median. Lateral, lateral mean opposite, lateral mean opposite to median, lateral mean opposite to median. Lungs at lateral, lungs at the lateral lateral plane, lungs at the lateral points, lungs at the lateral point. Proximal, origin, proximal, origin close to median, origin close to median, origin close to median. Proximal means origin close to median. Thigh is at proximal, thigh is at proximal. Distal, distal, origin far away, distal means far away, far away, distal means far away. Origin far away to median planes, origin far away to the median planes. Foot or distal, foot at the distal point, foot or the distal point. Thigh is at proximal, foot at the distal. Wrist is distal to elbow, elbow is proximal, elbow is proximal to wrist. Superficial, superficial, superficial terms used towards or at the body surface. Superficial towards means towards or at the body surface. इसकी अगर हम एग्जाम्पल देखें, फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्किन, स्किन is superficial to our muscle. Superficial means towards or at body surface, such as skin is superficial to our body muscles. Deep, away from, deep means away from the body. More internal, deep means away from the body, more internal. Humerus, such as humerus is deep from our muscle, humerus is deep from our muscle, humerus is deep from our muscle. Epi, epi mean same, epi mean same, lateral mean side, lateral mean side. Contra, contra mean opposite, contra mean opposite, lateral mean side. Uni, uni mean single, one, single, lateral mean side. Bilateral, bilateral means two, bi means two, lateral means sides, यानी bilateral two side, such as lungs, such as lungs, eyes, such as lungs, eyes in human, in human. Uni mean single side, such as liver, such as liver. Palmar, palmar, interior, palmar means interior surface of hand, palmar means interior surface of hand. Plantar means interior, plantar means interior surface of foot, palmar means interior surface of hand. Posterior surface of hand is dorsal, posterior surface को कहते हैं dorsal, जबकि इंटीरियर सरफेस ऑफ हैंड पाल्मर प्लांटर, इंटीरियर सरफेस ऑफ फुट नोन एज प्लांटर, इंटीरियर सरफेस ऑफ फुट नोन एज प्लांटर, posterior surface of foot known as dorsal. I again discuss the term of anatomical terminologies. Superior above towards the head, pimple is 2 centimeters superior to navel, inferior below towards foot, heart is superior, small intestine inferior, interior front side called interior, posterior also called dorsal, sternum is at interior and heart is at posterior position, median close to median, heart is at median, plane lateral opposite to median, lungs at lateral, proximal, origin close to median plane, thigh is at proximal, distal mean far away, foot at distal, wrist is distal to elbow, superficial towards or at body surface such as skin, deep away from the body, deep means away from the body, more internal, humerus such as humerus is deep from our muscle, epilateral, epi means same, lateral means side, contra mean opposite, lateral mean side, unilateral, uni means single, lateral means side, such as liver, bilateral, bi means two, lateral means side, such as lungs, eyes in humans, plantar, interior surface of hand known as plantar, posterior surface of hand known as dorsal, interior surface of foot known as plantar, posterior surface of foot dorsal. I hope you understand clearly this anatomical position, planes, medical terms. Thank you for watching my video. Allah Hafiz.